Movie begins with Mason standing on a lighthouse with his dog on a lonely island, watching a fishing boat coming closer. As the boat approaches, Jessie gets into a small rowing boat and heads toward the island. She ties the boat to the shore, places a box of supplies and a small gift inside the wooden cabin, and then leaves. After Jessie goes away, Mason comes down from the lighthouse. He collects the supplies and takes the box to his house, but leaves the gift behind in the cabin. He opens a bottle, drinks, and plays chess alone with himself. The next day, Jessie returns with another box. Leave the crate and come straight back. The weather looks like it's picking up. Don't come up here again. You know, me and my uncle come up here week after week bringing you supplies, and yet you've never even come down to greet us. Gale force winds are in serious effects across the coast. Where's my uncle? He's dead. We need to get the swelling down. Why haven't you called anyone? Not even the police. Just rest. You have to take me back. You can't just keep me here. I don't even understand why you're here. My uncle told me that this lighthouse hasn't been working in years. Yet, you never leave here. Why? My family will be looking for me. You don't have a family. Your uncle's taken care of you ever since. There's nothing here for anyone. After he leaves, Jessie limps into another room and searches through drawers. She finds a knife and hides it before Mason returns. That night, Mason wakes up when he hears her shivering and talking in her sleep. He sits beside her and she gets frightened and pulls out the knife. Mason calmly takes it from her and says it was only a bad dream. He even shows her how to hold and use a knife properly for protection. The next morning, Mason carries Jessie to the washroom because her foot is still swollen. He goes on with his daily routine and spends some time sketching. While preparing lunch, he sees Jessie sitting outside with the dog. While he plays chess, Jessie asks how he knew her uncle. How did you know my uncle? We served together in the Royal Marines. He never told me your name. Would make a difference if you knew it. Well, at least tell me your dog's name then. He doesn't have one. That's crazy. Jack, right, Jack? Come. Hey, can't you just go to a hospital? No, I'll get what's needed. After he leaves in his boat, Jessie explores the house. She finds a sketch of herself and Jack that Mason has drawn. In a drawer, she also finds the globe she once gifted him. Mason reaches a nearby town in Scotland and goes to a pharmacy. Just before entering, he notices a camera at the door. The scene then shifts to Whitehall in London, where a public inquiry is going on. Hanneron questions Manafort, who represents the government. She reminds him that 10 years earlier, the Prime Minister had promised the government would not collect personal data of British citizens. However, after a hack into MI6, it is revealed that they have been gathering all kinds of data to build an advanced surveillance system called Thea. Manafort responds that Thea is meant to predict and prevent threats, and instead of questioning it, people should be thankful. Hanneron argues that this could lead to Thea being shut down and investigations into both Manafort and Prime Minister Forum. Officers realize the entire team is dead and that the man they targeted was not Chermoiv. As Mason and Jessie travel by boat, she notices blood on his hand. He tells her he is fine and they head to a house. Mason hands his gun to Jessie and asks her to wait outside while he goes in. Inside, he searches for something, but the homeowner suddenly appears and points a gun at him. Jessie quickly enters and tells the man to lower his weapon. She asks if he can help Mason, who is injured. At headquarters, an operator named Madison informs Rivera that someone highly skilled has manipulated Thea's code. Whenever the system's cameras detect Mason, it falsely identifies him as Chermoiv. The assassin arrives behind them in his Ford and the chase begins. Ribera calls Manafort and asks if he knows Mason. Manafort asks where she heard the name, and she tells him Mason has just taken out an entire team. Manafort says what he is about to share is top secret and does not exist outside that call. He explains that years ago, MI6 ran a program called Black Kites, made up of exceptionally skilled agents, and Mason was one of them. During a mission to eliminate a foreign agent, Mason spared the target, falsified his report, and disappeared. When Roberta asks why, Manafort suggests Mason was likely turned for a large sum of money. He warns her that Mason is highly dangerous and tells her to use every resource available to eliminate him. Roberta then asks Madison to dig into restricted files. The files reveal that Mason's mission involved an Iranian scientist who had handed over nuclear secrets to MI6. Instead of protecting him, Mason was ordered to kill him so MI6 could deny involvement. Mason refused. As Ribera reviews this information, Manafort secretly watches her through a hidden camera in the room. He promises that by tonight it will be over and she will be safe. When she asks where he will go, he says there is always somewhere to hide. She asks to go with him, but he refuses, saying the only way to protect her is to stop the people behind this. Mason and Jesse arrive in London. At headquarters, Roberta asks Madison if there is any trace of Mason. Madison says there has been no sighting, but she detects that someone from outside has logged into Thea. Roberta tells her to find out who it is. Mason and Jesse walk into a club. Jesse points out a camera, but Mason removes his cap, so the system clearly captures his face on purpose. The bouncers stop them at the entrance, but Mason takes them down and demands to be taken to Kamal. Manafort sees Mason appear on his screen and tries to act, but a warning suddenly blocks his access. Madison discovers that it is Manafort secretly accessing Thea and informs Roberta. Inside, Kamal meets Mason. Manafort orders his own team to move in and use Jesse as Mason's weakness. They say they are seconds away. Kamal returns with a passport, a new identity, and money. He says Jesse will go to Spain and a boat leaves in 30 minutes. At headquarters, Roberta notices agents entering the club even though her official team is still minutes away. She realizes Manafort has sent his own unit. Later at headquarters, Roberta's team monitors Jesse, who is sitting alone in a cafe, hoping to see Mason again. A waiter gives her an envelope from a friend. Your friend said this was for you. I hope you guys enjoyed the recap, and if you did, then be sure to check out other awesome movies and series on the channel. And as always, thank you very much for watching.